Cloud engineer or software engineer, two careers that are both technical, well paid, and in demand. But in 2026, they are heading in very different directions. And if you pick the wrong one, or if you're already in one of them and you're not paying attention to what's happening around you, then, my friend, you could be setting yourself up for a very uncomfortable few years. I'm Suleiman. I've worked in tech for more than a decade, and it all started back in 2015 when I was earning just $18,000 a year and worked my way up to making multiple six figures in tech. Today, I'm running my own businesses across cloud and AI consulting, software, and my academy where I've helped more than 900 IT professionals, engineers, and career switchers master cloud and AI. In this video, I'm going to break down what each role looks like day to day, where things are heading, and the risks that nobody's talking about. At the end, I'll reveal exactly which path that I recommend depending on your specific situation. And this is coming from someone who's worked in both of these roles, so we're talking from experience here. Let's start with software engineering in 2026. Software engineers build the products that people use every single day. Your Instagram, your Netflix, your Uber, the actual functionality that make these applications work. They take the idea and they turn it into something that works at scale. A software engineer is making system design decisions, writing clean code. They're thinking about data models, API design, security, performance. They're working with product managers to understand what needs to be built based on customer feedback and why. They're reviewing other engineers' code, catching problems before they hit production, mentoring juniors, and increasingly, they're owning things that used to sit with operational teams, managing deployments, monitoring systems, being on call when something breaks at 2 a.m. And in 2026, there's an AI coding tool open in your editor at all times. You're not writing every line from scratch. You're describing what you want, reviewing what the AI generates, correcting it, integrating into a code base that's been built over years by many different people, and making sure that it actually works in the context of the wider system. The code gets produced way faster, but the judgment required to validate it, to know when the AI is wrong, to understand how it fits, still requires human oversight. Despite this, software engineering is facing a specific kind of pressure right now, and it's coming from three different angles. Firstly, AI coding tools have given companies a justification, fair or not, to expect more output from fewer engineers and to pull back on junior and mid-level hiring. Tools like Cursor, Claude Code, GitHub Copilot can write working implementations fast enough that the productivity expectations have gone up while the headcounts have decreased. Secondly, layoffs. The software engineering job market has taken a serious hit, and we are in a period now where companies talk about headcount reductions almost like it's a flex. Proof of efficiency, proof of technological sophistication. Thirdly, and this one is worth paying attention to, Anthropic recently added a disclaimer to some of their software engineering job listings saying that the role might not exist in 12 months. They're paying $500,000 a year for these roles and publicly signaling that the positions that you're applying for today may not have more than a year of runway. Now, is software engineering dying? No. The world runs on software. The engineers with deep systems knowledge, genuine architectural judgment, the ability to own something end to end, those people are going to be completely fine. If you're working at the top of this field, you're not going anywhere. But the middle and the entry level of the market is being squeezed. And there's also a very real perception problem that AI has made coding feel accessible to everyone. It's not being viewed in the same lens and the value that it used to be. But here is what most people are missing. The job market isn't just getting worse across the board, it's splitting into two. On one side, you've got a flood of junior developers and generalists all fighting over fewer and fewer entry-level jobs. On the other side, you've got companies literally that cannot find enough people to build and manage cloud systems, security, and AI infrastructure. During the entire layoff waves, all those headlines that you saw, companies were not cutting those infrastructure roles. They were cutting everywhere else. So the question isn't, is tech still hiring? The question is, which part of tech is hiring? And the answer keeps coming back to the same place, the stuff that keeps everything running. So if you're a software engineer right now, you are probably feeling the weight of this, and I'll come back to this very shortly. But first, let me show you the other side of this picture. Cloud engineers build and manage the infrastructure that everything in tech runs on, not the application code itself, right? The foundation underneath them. Think of it this way. Software engineers build the house. Cloud engineers build the land that it sits on, the roads that connect to it, the utilities that power it, and the security systems that protect it. Without that foundation, nothing works. And the way cloud engineers actually do that work is through code. You're not physically plugging in cables into servers somewhere. You work remotely from your laptop and you're writing files that describe an entire infrastructure environment, servers, networks, security rules, databases, and then running a single command that builds all of it automatically, consistently, every single time. That's what makes it so powerful. What the day-to-day actually looks like might surprise you. A lot of it is closer to software engineering than people expect. You are reviewing infrastructure code the same way that software engineers review application code. You're looking for security gaps, inefficiencies, things that won't hold up under load. You are designing systems from scratch. You're thinking through how all of the pieces connect together. What happens when something fails, how the architecture needs to change as the product grows over time. You're building automated pipelines that take code from developer's laptop all the way to running in production safely and reliably. And in 2026, that's more important than ever before, because AI tools are generating so much code so fast that automated, robust testing is the only thing standing between bad AI output and a production incident. The creator of Claude Code, Boris, he said that he now ships 10 to 30 code updates a day, all written by AI. Now imagine every engineer at a company doing that. That's 10 times more code being pushed out than ever before. And someone has to make sure that all of that actually works when it goes live. Someone has to make sure the systems can handle it, the security doesn't break, the cost doesn't go through the roof. That someone is the cloud engineer. So the more AI writes code, the more work it creates for cloud infrastructure roles. Cloud engineers are also the bridge between technical teams and business teams, consulting with the product teams on what they need, making architectural recommendations, and constantly balancing performance, security, and cost. Because cloud costs can spiral very fast if nobody's watching them carefully. And that's typically on you because you're provisioning these resources. Although in bigger organizations, they have a dedicated person called FinOps that handles this. Now, the skills that define a six-figure cloud engineer right now is AWS as your core platform, Terraform for infrastructure as code, CI/CD pipelines, Python and Bash, networking fundamentals, architecture and system design, knowing how to structure a system that's scalable, resilient, and built to last, but also implementing security thinking from day one, an understanding of AI, because every AI workload runs on cloud infrastructure. And think about this for a second. If the prediction is right, and everyone at a company starts building things with AI, right? Product managers building tools, designers building apps, marketing, building automations. You've just gone from maybe 20 engineers shipping stuff to maybe 200 people across the entire company, all shipping things, right? What does that mean? Way more things running on the cloud, way more things that can break, way more security risks, and way more cost to manage. You've just 10x the problem. So who has to clean all of this up? Who has to make sure that it all works? Well, it's the engineer who understands all the moving pieces. Right? Funny how that works. And demand is exploding right now. And I see it directly in the results that my students are getting today. Last week, Travol, who from help desk with no hands-on technical background, landed a cloud engineering role. Eric, who has 15 years of experience in IT, accepted a six-figure cloud engineer role. This week, Tomislav got hired as a platform engineer at a fintech company after months of applications. Then there's Mac and John, both landed roles at AWS. There's LD, Leticia, Devin, Silas, Joey. I could go on, but the point is, they've all got different backgrounds and starting points, but the level of support and outcome is ultimately the same. So if you're serious about landing a six-figure cloud role and you want my help directly, there's a link in the description below. Watch a short video that breaks down exactly how we do this, and from there, you can fill in a quick application form and book a call with my team. We literally take you through the process. We handhold you to become a six-figure cloud engineer. There's daily calls happening inside of my academy, interview preps, hands-on troubleshooting workshops, cloud architecture sessions, recruitment, CV, and career calls. It's all there for you to support you with this transition. So if you're interested, click the link below. Now that we have a clear picture of both roles, let me tell you where each one is heading, because this is where the real difference shows up. Traditional software engineering roles are facing headwinds that aren't going away. The democratization of coding through AI means companies will continue to question how many software engineers that they need and at what level. Now, that doesn't mean that the role disappears, but you are expected to understand systems deeply, make architectural decisions, own infrastructure, and not just features. The scope of what's expected is only going up. And then here is something that actually concerns me. There's a pattern emerging that people are calling invisible unemployment. The big dramatic layoffs slow down. You stop seeing the headlines, but the jobs just quietly don't come back. When someone leaves a company today, the first question isn't, who do we hire to replace them? It's, can AI do this instead? A survey of 1,000 hiring managers found that over half of them expect layoffs in 2026, and nearly half said that AI is the main reason why. But here is what's interesting. When you look at which roles companies are still scrambling to fill even during this freeze, it's cloud infrastructure, it's security, and it's AI engineering. The hiring freeze isn't hitting everyone equally. It just depends entirely on which side of the line that you are on. Cloud engineering, on the other hand, is in a massive growth phase, and the numbers speak for themselves. Gartner, one of the biggest research firms in the world, forecasts that companies will spend $2.5 trillion on AI in 2026 alone. And every single dollar of that needs cloud underneath it to actually run. Cloud spending in North America is on track to pass $1 trillion this year. AWS alone is projected to spend $200 billion. The overall cloud market is heading from $900 billion to over $5 trillion in the next decade. And the key here is that more than 90% of companies say that they can't find enough people with cloud infrastructure skills. So you've got record spending and not enough people to do the work. That's about as good as it gets if you're the person with the right skills. And it's not just the volume, it's the direction. Every single AI workload runs on cloud infrastructure. The big cloud providers like AWS and Google are essentially becoming AI providers. The investment going into AI is fueling demand for cloud engineers in a way that has no obvious ceiling, because you cannot run AI at scale without the infrastructure to support it. And it goes deeper than just keeping the lights on. Every company I'm working with right now is trying to deploy AI agents, not just chatbots that you type into, but systems that actually go and do things on their own. Book meetings, process claims, make decisions. And the number one thing holding them back isn't the AI itself, it's the environment that it runs in. Who makes sure the AI agent can only access the data that it's supposed to? Who designs the infrastructure so it can handle 10,000 users without the bill going through the roof? That's a cloud engineer. That's infrastructure work. That's the role. Cloud engineering is also remote friendly in a way that most traditional roles are not. Your work lives in code, which means that you're competing for jobs at a global scale. Last month, I had a recruiter reach out to me directly for a role at Palantir with a compensation close to $1 million a year in the US. So I'm based in the UK. I'm getting offers for companies based in the US. My consulting company has clients in the Middle East, in the US, in Europe that I'm working with, all from the comfort of my home here in the UK. So do you understand what that means if you've got the right skills with an industry that's growing? But here is the thing about cloud engineering that I don't think anyone is saying clearly enough. And I want you to really think about this. Software engineers are in an awkward position right now where AI is the tool that they use every single day and the thing that might eventually replace them. That's uncomfortable. Cloud engineers don't really have this problem the same way, because AI doesn't replace the cloud. AI needs the cloud to exist. Every AI model that gets trained, every AI tool that gets used, every chatbot, every AI agent, all of it is running on cloud systems. So here's a simple version. If AI takes off and changes the world, cloud engineers are needed more than ever before to run all of it. If AI disappoints and companies pull it back, they still need cloud engineers because their entire business already runs on the cloud. You win either way. That's the kind of position that you want to be in over the next decade. With cloud skills, you can also move into DevOps, SRE, platform engineering, cloud security, solutions architect, AI engineering. These all draw from the same overlapping core skills, giving you the real flexibility. Salaries wise, cloud engineers comfortably earn 6 figures, and once you specialize and you gain experience, you can make well over 200 to 300K. I saw a cloud engineer role at Apple recently paying $380,000 a year. So what does all of this actually mean for you specifically? Well, the industry keeps expanding what engineers are genuinely expected to do. The value in tech is starting to shift from pure implementation to architecture, from writing features to designing the systems that those features will run on, from deploying code to owning everything end to end, from the code to the infrastructure to production. That shift is already happening and it's only going to accelerate. If you're a software engineer right now, adding cloud engineering and architecture skills will make you significantly more valuable to the marketplace. If you can write code and you can architect the cloud infrastructure that the code runs on, design it for scale, secure it properly, manage it in production, you are a fundamentally different proposition to an employer than someone who can only do one of those things, like writing application code. You're not replaceable by an AI agent in the future. You are the person making sure that those agents are working correctly in production. Now, if you are looking to land your first technical role, or you are in tech already and you're looking to level up, I would recommend going with cloud engineering because the market is growing fast. Genuine entry-level roles exist, right? And the breadth of what you learn gives you a platform to build from that almost nothing else in tech does. Those are the facts. The problem is that most people are approaching this completely wrong. Certifications on their own don't get you hired. Tutorials don't get you hired. What gets you hired is the ability to walk into an interview and talk through real problems that you've solved, the trade-offs that you've considered, and why you made the decisions that you've made. That only comes from building real projects, not following someone else's tutorial step by step, but taking an actual project brief, designing the architecture yourself, reasoning from first principles about what the right approach is, and then building this. This is exactly what we teach in the academy. In fact, one of my students, Joey, did this. His contract ended after 6.5 years. He went through the roadmap inside of my academy. For one role that he applied to, he built 3 targeted portfolio projects based specifically on the job description, recorded Loom walkthroughs, and then he sent them directly to the hiring managers. He ended up with 2 job offers, and that's because of the skill set that he acquired with us. So here is where I land. Software engineering is not a dead-end career, but it is a career where the entry and the mid-level of the market is under real pressure. And the engineers who are navigating it well are the ones who've expanded beyond just writing code into cloud, into architecture, and understanding how systems actually work. The lower down the stack you are, the more valuable you become. The way that I think about career decisions is in 3 to 5 year chunks. Where is the best place to put your time and energy in for the next 5 years? Cloud engineering sits right in the middle of the 3 biggest areas companies are pouring money into right now: AI, cloud, and cybersecurity. Those aren't slowing down, they are speeding up. And the skills that you build don't get replaced by AI. They actually become more valuable the more AI gets adopted. That's not true for every career in tech right now. If you're considering either path and you haven't been in a technical role before, or you're already in tech and you're looking to level up, then you should go for cloud engineering. Not just for the pay, not just for the market, but because of what it unlocks for you long term and the options and the flexibility that gives you eventually to work for yourself. And if you want my help to land a 6-figure cloud role, then click the link in the description below and book a call with my team. As always, I'm rooting for you. Good luck.